Welcome to Influential Entrepreneurs, bringing you interviews with elite business leaders and experts, sharing tips and strategies for elevating your business to the next level. Here's your host, Mike Saunders.
Hello and welcome to this episode of Influential Entrepreneurs. This is Mike Saunders, the Authority Positioning Coach. Today we have with us Alissa Mesnickow, who is with the Trinity team. Alissa, welcome to the program.
Well, hey there, Mike. Thank you so much.
Hey, so I want to learn a little bit about yourself and what Trinity team at Keller Williams is focused on and the kind of clients that you work with, but bring us up to speed on your background, personally, professionally, what led you to even real estate in the first place. I always find that when I talk to specific professions, it's always interesting to see, what led them to the field. I've interviewed many chiropractors, and the common thread there is, when I was young, I had this thing that happened, and, I was injured, and then no one could help me until this one chiropractor. So I wanted to, go become one. So what was it in your past that led you to think real estate would be a profession you would want to pursue?
Yes, so true. Well, for myself, I always had a love for homes in a capacity of whether it was design or features that were unique to older homes, specific areas and neighborhoods. And actually, as I, followed that path of loving design, I went and got my degree in interior design with a focus of kitchen and bath design. And so for over a decade, I actually did kitchen and bath remodels in the Bay Area of Northern California. And that was a wonderful, job, as well as a platform to really meet interesting clients and be able to utilize my creative skills and also just walk them through the process of, A to Z on their dream bathroom or kitchen. And as life always does, we take different paths, and eventually my family actually ended up in Colorado. And when we made our move out here, we then found ourselves in a spot of new adventures. And for me, that included, what do I want to do now that I'm in Colorado? And as I continued down that path of thinking about homes and my clients and how much I enjoyed all the different stories and relationships I had with them, that's what led me into looking into real estate, which was an interesting choice because oftentimes in real estate, it's a network of who do you know that you can assist. And here I was in Colorado, a whole new area, and I didn't really know a lot of people, nor did I know the area, but I had a passion for helping others as well as the passion of homes and individual needs, and that's essentially what led me into real estate.
It's interesting you said, as life always does, because I wonder, someone we ought to talk to, like a social psychologist or a historian, because it seems to me growing up, going through school, you would always hear about you work for this company for 30 years, you get the gold watch and you retire. Well, at what point did life and business and our employment shift to where now people are changing total careers 2 and 3 and 4 times, not only the jobs, but yeah, I think that's an interesting observation, which you experienced, but because you experienced that and got into real estate, don't you now see people you work with and serve experiencing the same thing, which then introduces their need for real estate help?
Absolutely. And that's actually, some of the exciting pieces of my job is the fact that, real estate can represent so many different things. It could be, a new baby, or it could just be a new adventure where somebody's taken a leap of faith and said, I'm going to go try out mid-United States, or something just completely new. Not every story is always a happy story, but it's a process that people are going through, and that's what makes it so rewarding, is I get to be a part of that process and assist them through that journey. So I completely agree.
Do you find that you work with any specific types of clients? Like I know that sometimes you'll see realtors who will focus on only buyers, only sellers, or only empty nesters, things like that. But do you work with the full range of clients, or do you have a specialty that you like to focus on?
Yes, I am full service, so I really do cover the full gamut of residential real estate. So really, if it's a first-time home buyer, if it's an investor, if it's somebody just making a move up, or maybe it's downsizing, it's all areas of life within that residential real estate. The beauty part of being part of the Trinity team is, although my specialty is in residential real estate, I have the support of a team that has a division that's is specific with commercial real estate as well as property management. We even actually do HOA management. So we really cover the full gamut of all forms of real estate. And that's wonderful for not only myself, but even my clients, because I could be working with an individual that's maybe buying their third home, and in the same time find out that their business has really been growing and they need a new commercial property for expansion, and we can assist them with that. So it's a fun process to really see how we can align ourselves. And even with that, I've worked with clients that thought they wanted to sell their home because it felt like that was maybe the only option, but in that self-discovery, as we're discussing their needs and their goals and what it is they're really trying to achieve, I can then maybe even find a little nugget in there that's saying, well, maybe selling isn't your only option. Have you considered keeping this property and renting it out? And so from right in that moment, I can then assist them with that particular idea as well by having them meet with our property management team. And so it's just a wonderful collaboration, because that's a big part of it, is meeting the client's needs. And sometimes they're trying to figure that out as well. And my job is to assist in any way possible. And sometimes it's even helping them determine what that might be.
I love that you gave that example about the person that might want to sell, but maybe let's consider property management division and the benefit of working with the team. And the reason I picked up on that is back about 10 years ago, I spent 10 years in the mortgage banking business. So I know the real estate industry, and I know how the word cutthroat comes to mind, but commission focused, and many realtors aren't closing 2, 3, 4 deals a month. So when you have someone that's interested in working with you, it's like, let's get this thing done. So to hear you say, but you know what? Is this the best for you, Mr. and Ms. Client? What if we explored this opportunity about working with our property management firm? I don't want to know commissions or dollars, but I would bet you that the referral internally to your property management team is much less of a benefit to you than working with them as a seller. So that shows your integrity in putting the needs of your client above just the dollars that you can earn.
Well, thank you, Mike, for noticing that. Absolutely. Financially, sending somebody off to property management is obviously not going to be as beneficial as, a big sale, let's say. But that's not the end game for me. Really, the end game is helping my clients. So although we all need money to support our own families, I'm not working just for the money. My job is really to assist my clients, and that's what satisfies me at the end of the day, because it's that process, taking them from A to Z and helping them get to where they need to be, that in turn, brings them gratification, it gives me gratification, and I hope also then builds a trust and a relationship that then can down the line be fruitful as well, when it means that I could get additional referrals from that client. So definitely my goal is to assist the client and find out their true needs, and at the end of the day, if I've been able to do that, then I'm a satisfied person.
And the other thing is the working with a team is the connotation of working with a one-stop shop. So, for instance, obviously any realtor can help the buyer and then help that same person, sell their home plus buy their next home. So we're working both sides of the transaction. That's common, but let's talk a little bit more about the true benefit of working with a full team like what Trinity team brings, from commercial to all the experts there. So if a buyer or seller were trying to choose between, well, there's all kinds of realtors I could choose from. They're on every corner, kind of like Starbucks. I've got, 2 or 3 magnets sent to me in the mail every month. So if they're trying to make their decision, how beneficial is it to look deeper at what the Trinity team brings? What are some of those takeaways to the client?
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. Everybody knows a realtor. Probably most people know 3 to 5 realtors, honestly. And the important thing that I found is really aligning yourself with an individual or a team that really you connect with, one that you can trust. I mean, this is a relationship that is essential and critical to, oftentimes, to most people's financial well-being, not just in the moment, but long term. I mean, real estate generally becomes some of the largest, financial gains that people have as individuals. And so aligning yourself with an individual or team that really takes the time to understand what your goals are, ask questions, isn't afraid to kind of get in the weeds and dig down, because as fun as it is to put a sign in the yard or, make a marketing flyer, we all can do that, but that's not really getting into what is it you need. And the beauty for myself is, as an individual agent that is on a team, is the fact that I can have a really strong relationship with my client, but then I have the support of a team behind me. So, collectively as a team, we have over 100 years of experience. There's always something new or interesting that pops up in real estate. And so no matter what it is, I know that if I haven't come across it, somebody else on my team likely has. And that's a beautiful thing, because there's about, if I was to guess, about 186, steps between starting a transaction to closing. There's a lot of behind the scenes things that happen in those steps, and just knowing that you have a strong support system and an advocate that's on your side that's going to do anything and everything to represent you and protect you. That's really what I want my clients to understand is the goal of this process.
Yeah, and you mentioned all those steps, and I bet there are 186, and it's probably like, a domino effect where if one of those steps was off, then it could cause a big kink in the works or cause it to go off. You're only as strong as your weakest link. So knowing everything about everything is important. So that's great if you've personally got 40 years experience, but you know what? You don't need 40 years experience. You need to be plugged in with a team of people that have over 100 years of experience, because I'll bet you that you guys all as the team members are talking through transactions with each other, and maybe there's been a time that some other of your colleagues have gone, hey, you mentioned that one property over on whatever, have you ever tried this, or have you noticed that? And I'll bet you can just pick up from each other just in conversation and talking through helping your clients out, right?
Absolutely. And that's something I love also, the collaboration as a team. We, meet and collaborate, see what's happening amongst each other as individuals and divisions, which is great because, if I'm working with a buyer that's looking for something really specific, and then another one of my teammates is potentially speaking with another client that might be listing a property that can meet that need, we may be able to align those dots right then and there. However, if it's not, we also then have the benefit of a team working behind us that can build on each other and just really take and meet the needs of the team. And beyond that, we even have coaching that we go through and grow from, because all of us as individuals, no matter where we are in our journey, somebody can be teaching us something. And I feel like that is a huge benefit, not only to me as an individual, but then to my clients, because there's so much to just learn and gain all the time. And so, where I was in the beginning of real estate as an agent, where I am now, and where I'll be down the future, it's, a process and hopefully, a continuous benefit to not only myself, but my clients.
Yes, I love it. Well, I really just love your approach to the business and your client focus. So, Alissa, what is the best way that people could reach out and learn more about what you do in the field of real estate?
Yes, that would be wonderful. Well, the easiest way is always a call or a text, and I have held on to my California roots and still have a California phone number, and so my cell phone is area code 925-819-0999, or if email is easier, that would be ALIS as in Sam, S as in Sam, A at TrinityTeamRE.com.
Excellent. And I will make sure to have that email address and the website address in our show notes so people can click through that as well. So, Alissa, thank you so much for coming on today. It was really wonderful hearing from you and learning more about your business.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate this.
You've been listening to Influential Entrepreneurs with Mike Saunders. To learn more about the resources mentioned on today's show or listen to past episodes, visit www.influentialentrepreneursradio.com.